Now when we read this, you tell me if this fits the Jewish people or the Israelis that are in Israel right now. Because the Bible doesn't lie. Hey, and guess what? What happened to them? Terrorism. Are we the real Jews, or is it the Jewish people of Israel? We're going to read the Bible. Thou shalt begot sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity. Does that fit those people saying that they're in Israel today? Is there any history of their children being taken lock, stock and barrel and sold into captivity? So that verse doesn't fit them. We're teaching the so-called Negroes, the Hispanics, the Native American Indians, who went through the worst thing that could ever happen to mankind, slavery, who they are according to the Bible. Because guess what? All the nations in the Bible are here.
You want to know about Israel? You say this Israel are different Israel.
So the question, it's a very good question. The brother's asking, are we the Israelites, or are those people that are in Israel right now the real Jews, right? Very excellent question. Give me Revelation chapter 2 verse 9. Revelation chapter 2 verse 9. Watch what Christ said. Jews that are in, or those Jewish people in Israel, are they the real Jews according to the Bible? We're going to find out. What's this?
Revelation chapter 2.
You're Jewish. Hey, good to meet you. Alright, shalom. What's this? But we're reading the Bible. So Moses said, when he led the Israelites, you know about Moses and Egypt? When he led them out of Egypt, right, they crossed the Red Sea, right, into the wilderness, and what did he do? Give me Deuteronomy 1 verse 1. He gave them the laws, commandments, and statutes. Why? They were enslaved by the black Egyptians for 400 years. So when they came out of Egypt, they came out with Egyptian doctrine, mindset, religion, etc. But watch what Moses said to them. Read it.
Deuteronomy 1, chapter 1.
Come on.
These are the words which Moses speaks unto all Israel on the side of Jordan in the wilderness.
So these are the words which Moses spake unto all Israel on this side of Jordan in the wilderness. Sister, you agree with that? You agree with that, right? So now, guess what? We're going to go, same chapter, we're going to go a few books forward, because something was going to happen to the Jews in the future. Moses said something would happen to them prophetically. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15. Watch this, my brother. Now when we read this, you tell me if this fits the Jewish people or the Israelis that are in Israel right now. Because the Bible doesn't lie. Hey, and guess what? What happened to them? Terrorism. Okay, yeah, they did terrorize. But what's this?
My daughter was at the Manchester Arena bomb.
That's terrible. We don't condone that. Listen, we don't condone no acts of violence. But what's this?
When you say Israel,
But what's this?
now.
You asked me a question. Are we the real Jews, or is it the Jewish people in Israel? We're going to read the Bible. I'm not making this up.
Let's talk about the 12 tribes of Israel.
It doesn't. The Torah. Okay, it does talk about the Israelites being lost, but listen, I'm going to read to you. Listen, you agree that Moses led them out of Egypt, right? Now we just read that they're in Jordan on this side of the wilderness. Now, hold on. Watch what Moses said. Moses is
pulling out from a different area.
I'm reading from Deuteronomy, the books of Moses. Yeah, the Bible says precept must be upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little. Well, we know the Bible very well. What's this? Read that.
In a translated version.
Well, it said listen, read that.
I know in
Deuteronomy 28 and verse 15.
What's this?
But it shall come to pass,
It shall, future prophecy, it hasn't happened yet. What's this?
if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God,
If you don't listen to the Lord of your God, who's just brought you out of Egypt from the hands of the black Egyptians, you don't listen to what he says. What's this?
to observe and to do all
The ancient Egyptians are black. Look at the monuments. What's this?
to observe and to do all his commandments,
To observe and to do all his commandments, right? Watch what he said, brother. Watch what he said.
and his statute which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Moses said to the Israelites, if you don't listen and obey what God has told you to do, curses are going to come upon you as a people and overtake you.
That's right.
That means those curses will be on you.
Right.
Now, they claim to be Jews, right? I didn't say it. They said it out of their own mouth. It's supposed to be their book. Moses is supposed to be their forefather. So now, let's see what he said concerning what would happen to the Jews in the future. Give me verse 46. Hey, I didn't write this, by the way, people. I'm just reading from the Bible. Read that.
Teach.
Verse 46.
Come on.
And they shall be upon thee for a sign.
And they are the curses. The curses will be upon thee, you, for a sign. Sister, what's the purpose of a sign? What does a sign do? It tells you something. Brother, what does a sign do? It shows you that if I want to know where EE is, I look for the sign. O2, I look for the sign. McDonald's, I look for the sign. So it's going to identify who the real Jews are in the future. Why, sis? Because they were going to lose their identity. Now watch what Moses said, right? And when we read these curses, sis, you tell me if it fits us or if it fits those people in Israel right now. Brother, when I read these curses, you tell me who it fits. Does it fit us or the people that are in Israel today? Give me verse 48. In fact, give me verse 32.
Thy son and thy daughter shall be given unto another nation.
One of the curses, sister, brother, it says your sons and your daughters shall be given unto another nation. Read.
And thy eyes shall look and fail for longing.
And your eyes shall fail with longing for them all the day long. Which means that they'll be taken from you and all you could do is cry for them. You wouldn't be able to bring them back. Give me verse 41, read.
Verse 41.
Come on.
Thou shalt be begot sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them.
So you're going to beget sons and daughters. You're going to have sons and daughters, but you're not going to enjoy them. Why?
For they shall go into captivity.
For they shall go into slavery. You won't enjoy your sons and daughters, for they shall go into captivity.
Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Nathaniel. I want you to know that you can view all our Sabbath classes live on IUIC TV. That's right, I said on IUIC TV. Download the app today.
People had their children taken from them and sold into slavery. Which people? Point them out. Okay, now, we're not being biased. We don't want to be biased here. Is there any history of the Caucasians having their children taken from them and sold into slavery? Any slave movies? What about the Chinese? What about the Japanese? What about the East Indians? What about the Arabs? What about our people? That sign fits us, right?
Yes, right.
Read. Verse 41. Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them.
Read.
For they shall go into captivity. Does that fit those people saying that they're Israel in Israel today? Is there any history of their children being taken lock, stock and barrel and sold into captivity? So that curse doesn't fit them. Now, give me verse 48. In fact, give me verse 47.
Verse 47, because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things.
So because the children of Israel didn't want to serve the one true God for the abundance of all things that he gave them, they began worshiping other idols, they began following the gods of the other nations. Watch what he said.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies.
Therefore, I'm going to allow you to go and serve your enemies. Is that plural or single?
Enemies,
Enemies, more than one. Watch this.
which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger.
So for food, this is a curse on the real children of Israel. For food, you're going to have to go to the other nations who provide the infrastructure for you to feed yourself. Do we own any Tesco's?
Right.
Do we own Morrison's,
Right.
Lidl, Aldi? Where's our mini supermarkets? Do we have any?
Bring it out.
All right, read on.
And in thirst,
Water that comes out of your pipe, right? Do we own the water infrastructure? What about Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Lucozade, lemonade? Do we own any of that? So for water, you're going to have to go to the other nations who provide them infrastructure for you to benefit from. Read.
and in nakedness.
The clothing on your back does not say made in Sudan.
Right.
It doesn't say made in Jamaica. It doesn't say made in Barbados. It doesn't say made in Cameroon or Sierra Leone. It will say made in China, made in Taiwan, you understand? Made in the Philippines, made in Italy. So for clothing, you're going to have to go to the other nations who provide the infrastructure for you to benefit from clothing yourself. Now, watch this, because this is the kicker. Watch this.
And in want of all things,
Anything that you want, driving license, marriage license, education, birth certificate, death certificate, education, even your understanding of the Bible, you would have to go to another nation
Right.
to get the benefit from. Now I said, there's a kicker. This is the kicker, read that.
and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he has destroyed thee.
Read that again.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon your neck until he have destroyed thee. Now, let me ask you a question, because you asked me a very, very good question. What we just read, is there any history of the people claiming to be the Jews in Israel right now having yokes of iron on their necks, being sold into slavery? Is there any history? What about the East Indians? What about the Arabs? What about the Chinese? What about the Japanese? What about the Caucasians? So that sign fits us, right? Now I challenge you, take out your phone and Google yokes of iron. Yokes of iron, and you will see black people in slavery with the big yokes of iron on their necks. And
That's
he says,
right.
Ye shall have, he says, until he has destroyed thee.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is